Right, we are then. It is the one and only John Obi Mikel. He's flying the flag for Nigeria this evening. John, good evening, my friend.
Good evening.
You're nervous like us all. I had a chat with you off air. You fancy a good game tonight, John?
I do fancy a good game tonight, but I think if you look at it in a different way, it looks like we've actually watched the final being played. I think obviously I thought the final was gonna be Spain against Germany. I think that was the final. It was an amazing football game, and it was a great game to watch. But tonight, I'm looking forward to tonight as well.
Does tonight, in your opinion, hit the heights of that Spain-Germany game? Probably not, right?
Probably not. Obviously, like Neil just said, I think England will be happy to sit back and let Spain have the ball. But we're hoping for England to come out and also want to win the game and go for it. You know, it's a final. You have to go for it.
What are we? We're 4 hours away from kick-off. I'll go back to 2013, John. You know what it's like to win a continental tournament for your country.
Yep.
4 hours from kick-off. What are the players doing right now?
Nerves, just, meetings, having pre-match meals, trying to get your whatever. If you're superstitious, you're trying to make sure you do the right things. You're ready. You get a nap as well, just a few hours before the game, which really helps. So I think the boys are going to be, both teams are going to be nervous. They're going to be relaxed at the same time as well, which is very important. So I think it's going to be a great game tonight.
When do the big speeches happen? And obviously we're going to hear from Gareth, we're going to hear from Harry Kane, we're going to hear from the Spanish camp as well between now and 10 o'clock. But when would have Gareth Southgate delivered his Churchillian speech? Neil, would that have been last night after dinner? As John said, would it be maybe even now, maybe this afternoon, you pull them together and you start saying one or two extra little bits ahead of this game? When does the big speech happen, the big battle cry?
Yeah, every manager and coach is different. Everyone's searching for that right time to sort of say, is it that pre-match meal meeting before you get on the bus? Is usually when you play the video montage. So you might play a video, the highlights, you might have some family messages from people, you might have messages from fans played in the video, you might want to do it the night before. It's such a big occasion. It doesn't need it. Do you understand what I mean? In terms of the players know what's riding on it. You're not having to get them up for Stoke on a Tuesday night. Do you understand what I mean? It's if you understand what I'm saying. No offence. I know you were the guy. I know you were the guy on the other side of that. But I think that's the main thing. Is that when do you do it? I don't think it needs a Churchillian speech. I don't think it needs it. Everybody knows what it's about. It's about you letting them know how good they are, what got them there. And doing that. But it's interesting, right? I'll tell you something. When I did my pro license, so I did a study on player behaviours and habits. So I got in touch with loads of players, right, and asked them, all anonymous when I presented it. And the amount of people that have superstitions and that are way beyond what you'd even believe and know.
Yeah,
really.
So one player I spoke to, and these were all Premier League and Championship players. One player, from arriving on the Friday to the hotel to the game, had to play a certain amount of games on FIFA before he could. And if the team changed manager and routines changed and they got to games later, this, that and the other, it would change. One player had to watch a Rocky film after pre-match. So after pre-match and before leaving for the bus, he would have a Rocky film on. Every single football match was like his habits and stuff. There was loads of this. People have tiny little things they do, whether it's they eat the same thing, whether they're really, really bad. I'm sure everybody's seen Gary Neville talk about he would eat Weetabix on the same on the train down from Manchester to London at the same time, him and his brother. There's so much of it that I didn't know until I delved into it that actually goes on. And really, it's anxiety, isn't it? It's pre-match nerves.
It kind of lends itself to superstitions. John,
Yep.
Did you have one?
I did have one. I have to lace my left football boots first before I lace the right one. It's crazy though. I think a lot of football players do have superstitious behaviors. Like John Terry will not touch the ball.
He wouldn't touch the match ball?
No, he wouldn't touch a ball inside the dressing room, because sometimes when you come in the dressing room, we start kicking the ball around, some players playing with the ball. John Terry will not touch the football. He will not touch the ball. And so sometimes what we do is flick the ball towards him. It's like, oh, stop it. He's trying to get away from the ball.
Fireball.
So, yeah, no, everybody does. Everybody does.
Even John's changing a boot.
Yeah, he changes the boots.
Really.
He plays
He
plays with one boot in the first half. Second half, he changes the boot. Yeah, he plays with about 2-3 boots every game.
He'll change his boots for the second half.
He will.
Did not know that.
I mean, I was around with Sturridge's early years. he would come on the pitch and he would do the ordinary coming on. By the end, he was doing 2 hops with his right foot, 2 with his left, turning around, backwards, down, up, turn. It becomes a thing for players.
Ivanovic was another one. There's this tape, the white tape.
Yes.
The white tape, we cut the socks and then we tape it. It has to be in his locker before he arrives to the stadium. Before we arrive to the stadium, in the dressing room, it has to be in his locker. And it has to be a certain person has to put it. Not everybody else will touch it. A certain person has to go and put it. So it has to be Billy. Billy has to go and take it and put it. Nobody else is allowed to put it.
So if he gets there and the tape's
it's not there, he
goes crazy.
So it gives you an idea. Like my study was on sleep and performance anxiety, and it became a bigger thing for me, and it helped me becoming a coach and manager to understand that. And you think at a stage there on tonight, think of all these little things that are habits and things like that. Think about
it plays a big part.
Think about a final and why finals are sometimes so bad in terms of a spectacle, or why big games sometimes fail to give you what you wanted to see. Playoff finals are always not the greatest in champ. It's because of all that.
I'm not an expert, but doesn't that give a footballer a crutch? Does that not give them an excuse not to perform well? That would be the worry here, because tape is not in my locker. It gives myself an excuse not to play well.
Not really. I mean, I think he just throws a tantrum, isn't it? That's what happened a few times. It wasn't there. He came in and he lost it, threw a massive tantrum. But then, I mean, he goes out. He knows he has to perform. He has to go and do the business. He has to go and do his job, and he's paid for that. So it's just those little things. And sometimes when it doesn't happen, and you have a bad game, it does affect you, really. Okay, this is the reason why, but obviously we don't cry about it, you don't talk about it, but the next game, it has to be done properly, and because these are your match, these are your rituals, and you need to keep it. So a lot of players did keep that.
Yeah, it matters.
It does.
I can tell you, I do nothing special before coming on the national
What is your ritual?
Of the Dubai 103 I'm just trying to think, John.
Strepsils.
I need a Strepsil or 25 of them at the minute after the month I've had. It's great to have both of you here. Listen, we are going to build up to England against Spain. I've got to turn the conversation around a little bit and get your thoughts on what this tournament has been like. How do you assess? Because the three of us, in fact, just before coming on air, it's lacking a superstar or two for me. And listen, Lamine Yamal is phenomenal. Jamal Musiala, incredible. Jude Bellingham will be incredible. He's perhaps not had his best tournament. But, we'll get to the team of the tournament in a few moments' time. There's a real lack of top drawer number 9s, is I think one of the things we've come out of this tournament saying. But from a tournament perspective, Neil, has it been vintage in your opinion?
I don't know about vintage. I think there's been some really good games in there, and of course we're going to touch on best games and stuff like that as well after this. I think there's been some real good young talent. I think it's been a young man's tournament, whether that's the players, the coaches, the managers, etc. I think it's been a really young tournament on that side of things. But I think it has been a great spectacle. I think the fans have behaved impeccably, so all of that's been really, really good. I think what I would come back to is, I think we have gone through an era since the Spain 2008, 2012. And if ever anybody's listened to Bielsa talk about football over in the Copper as well, in that we're losing something out of the game. We're taking the individuality away, the essence of it, the individual qualities, and that can only be because we're coaching it through the young ages out of them a little bit. We're all around positional play, people being in the right place at the right time, this sort of thing. When actually, what gets people off their seat, it is. When Neymar gets on the ball, people stand up because they think he's going to do something. It may come off, it may not come off.
Or Messi.
It's not always the greatest thing. It's not always the greatest thing for the team in the moment, but they do things that get you off your feet that you don't see down the park on a weekend. I think the biggest thing for me is what I found is, and there's two elements of it. There's Pep Guardiola and his positional play and how he wants to play, and everybody trying to play that way and taking the onus off dribbling and individuality to some extent till the final third. I still think Pep's not fully to blame for that. But I also think the way we referee games now and the way the competitiveness has gone out of the game and the way we're so minute on the detail of everything doesn't enable fans anymore to be able to relate to themselves being on the football pitch. I think that's what Bielsa was talking about, the cultural change in football. How it's now become all these people moving around in June to satisfy FFP and all this sort of stuff. It doesn't, you've got
clinical.
Yeah, I mean, you've got homegrown players. Look, fans are waiting to come through into their first team. They're going, please. Even I'm looking at Jacob Ramsey now, possibly going to Tottenham and stuff, and I'm going, he's a born and bred Aston Villa kid. Yeah. Chukwuemeka going to Chelsea and stuff. But the business has moved them away from it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And Bielsa's right in terms of it's
I
become
was just
very
going to say,
clinical and business
I think the money has played a big part in in football today, because there's so much money. It's become a obviously it's always been
a business.
But I think now it's gone from this to that. As the money is in the game is just changed the game really. And like you said, I think when you look at the tournament, it's not, like you said, Neil, the tournament has been for me it's been a great tournament so far. And I think there's been some good players that we've never had before, and we've seen them perform really well and have a good tournament. But
let me ask you, John, do you enjoy football as much as you once did?
Not like I used to. I wouldn't. I'm not going to lie about it. It's hard for me now to sit and say I'm going to start a football game and finish it. No, it doesn't happen that often anymore. It's just because I don't see those big. There's no big name players anymore. You know what I mean? We've just talked about it off air now. We look at the whole tournament. There's no an out and out striker. I think obviously the creative players, the young creative players, they've had a good tournament. You can look at Musialis, the Lamine and all these guys. They've had a great tournament. The Kobe Mainos and all that. But when you look at the striker, there's none. There's none that I can say, okay, this is a striker that's had a good tournament.
Yeah.
None. And it's difficult to find.
It is.
Yeah, but for me, the rules have changed it. The rules have done that. The competitiveness, being able to tackle, being able to battle against somebody. The ball. I watched Kiefer Moore for Wales for 2-3 years. Any time he challenged for a header with a centre half, a foul was given against him. And in the end, I watch managers have to take him off the pitch because they realise that what he brings to the game. And nobody wants to just see long ball football, but watching a striker and a centre half compete is just gone. It's gone from the game, and people know it has. Like tonight, we talked about Yamal. If I was playing against them, thinking, right, I've got to get right tight, so I've got to do this. John was the same as a player. Their number 10's the best player. John's got to do a job on him today. That element of it,
that element
is gone
gone
now.
It's gone, isn't it?
It's gone.
Yeah.
People know now if you go near them,
as well,
boom, go down, foul.
Foul.
And there's bookings. Hopefully tonight, there's bookings are now given in the first 10 minutes. Your first tackle's no longer a gift.
You're so right.
Them sort of things have taken the game away from the fans for me. You don't have fans up in here shouting handball when a cross hits somebody's hand. They're now buying into it. Football culturally has completely changed. I think that's why the man on the street, let alone for the money, me and you have benefited from the money in the game and stuff, I think it's the money is the money, and that'll never go away. But it's the best product in the world that every summer a group of people sit round a table and try and change it for no reason. And you get one or two things wrong and you're in big trouble. And I think that's where we're going a little bit.
Yeah, the days of you being told, John, stick one on early, make them feel you, let them know you're there.
Exactly.
It's gone.
It's gone, because that's what you have to do when you get on the pitch.
When
I played the likes against the likes of Del Piero, the Totis, on the Champions League games.
Yeah.
Champions League night. You go and you want them to feel you a little bit. It's not going to be an easy night for you tonight, but little things like that. Now you get you have a little tackle. First 5-10 minutes, yellow card, and then you have to play the rest 80 minutes.
Carvalho,
it just takes so much.
And the reason they did it was they were saying we want to stop dangerous play, reduce the risk of injury. More injuries in football now than there's ever been since the start of days.
And what do we put that down to? Soft tissue injuries or what?
Overuse.
I think players have become softies now.
No. There's possibly that, but also there's more football than ever. There's more football than ever, yeah.
The demands placed on you boys. Well, listen, team of the tournament, we'll get to it early. We'll open it up on 4001. I did give the boys a bit of homework yesterday. I said, listen, have a little think about the team of the tournament. Obviously, I know we've still got the main event. We've still got the big one tonight. And, of course, Harry Kane could smash in 5 goals tonight. Unlikely. He could. And he would certainly put himself in with a shout of being named any team of the tournament if he was to do that.
Not in my team.
No.
Never in a month of Tuesdays is Harry Kane getting in mine either. But I did give you boys a bit of homework. Formations. What formation did you go for, Neil?
I'm looking like a 4-1-4-1 here.
4-1-4-1. I can tell you what you've done. You've got like 5 attackers on the pitch. What have you done, John? Have you gone?
I think I've gone 4-2-3-1. 3-1, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Right, yeah. I'll tell you who I've gone with. Let me know if you agree. This one is a bit of a tongue twister. My goalkeeper, I've gone for Georgi Mamardashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper. The reason I say that, 30 saves, almost double the number of his nearest competitor, which was Netherlands' Bert van Bruggen, with 17. Of course, he was busy. With the greatest respects, it's Georgia. Plays his club football for Valencia over in Spain. There's going to be some big clubs, though, looking at him. I thought he was fantastic in the time that Georgia were in this tournament.
almost double the amount of saves of the next goalkeeper
Yep.
in the tournament. So I think he deserves that. And given what Georgia did as well, 1 or 2 players come out with loads of credit from the tournament. He's definitely one of them. So are we agreed on that, or have you picked somebody else?
Who have you gone for,
we
John?
agreed on goalkeeper?
No, I've gone for All Black.
Oh,
Okay.
Jan Obi.
I don't think he was great in
Jan
this
Oblak.
tournament.
I think he did. I think he was.
He saved the penalty, didn't he?
He saved the penalty, didn't he? Yeah. For me, I think he had a. Okay, probably not as saves as, but I just like Jan Oblak.
Yeah,
I like,
Jan, he's a
I
top
like the way he
goalkeeper.
plays the game, the confidence, the way he's so calm. It brings a lot of calmness to the team, and that's something that Peter Cech had as well.
Yeah,
So-
he's very similar to Peter
Yeah.
in the whole way that, I mean, he's a big boy. I'm actually surprised he's still at Atletico Madrid, in truth. So, Jan Oblak,
Yeah.
John's gone far. We've gone for the two, the two of us have gone for the Georgian goalkeeper. Right back, who have you gone for, Neil?
Carvajal.
Danny Carvajal of Spain?
Yeah, talked about today as a possible Ballon d'Or if they win it.
No.
If they win the tournament, he's talked about being in the conversation or in at least the best 11 of the year.
I think, he
Best
deserves
11,
that.
but
Best
no-
11.
What did I text you a few nights ago?
Yeah, you did
Is
say
it my
that.
top 5 right backs of all time?
Best 11.
Carvajal.
Best 11 of the year for sure, but not
Ballon
not
d'Or.
Ballon d'Or for me. No.
Does he make in your team, John? Is he your right back?
No. My right back, I go Joshua Kimmich.
Oh, yes, German. Of course,
Yeah.
came a cropper in that quarter-final as it was. Amazing Joshua Kimmich. Started off as a midfielder, now a right back. Mainstay for Bayern Munich as well as Germany. Yeah, you're right, a real good start to the tournament. He was excellent against Spain in truth, but interesting. You've gone Carvajal, Kimmich. I too have gone Danny Carvajal. Obviously he was sent off, missed the semi-final, but other than that, he's been absolutely rock solid as I see Novak Djokovic. John, we've lost John. John's now focused in on the tennis. So Carvajal, Joshua Kimmich. Centre backs, boys. Who did you go for, John? Djokovic has won it. Djokovic. It's now, 5 apiece. Djokovic is still in this final. We've lost John. You can tell he's a massive Roger Federer fan.
John was about to say Djokovic and Alcaraz centre
He
half.
was. Who would be your centre half, Neil? Who did you pick centre half?
I have gone with Saliba,
Oh.
and because of the data around him and the fact that it's a debut tournament, and I think he's done really, really well,
Mark Gay.
Mark Gahey.
John, centre halves.
Well, I've got one of those in mind. So I went. What did I go for?
Saliba.
I went Akanji,
Yeah.
Manuel Akanji,
Love him.
and Manuel Gay as well. Yeah.
Mark
Yeah,
Gay. So
yeah,
you've gone
yeah,
Gay and Akanji.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I've gone Akanji and Saliba.
Yeah, so I was going to go Akanji, but
I know he missed the penalty.
yeah, exactly. He's
know
the
he
reason
did
they're
miss
not
the
out.
penalty.
So it's
Well, there is
I couldn't-
that,
but he was
but-
fantastic. He was fantastic.
An absolute Rolls Royce was Akanji, and he
Yeah.
is. I mean, we said it on the show previously. 16 million quid is all he cost,
Yeah,
Man
that's a
City.
steal.
Don't know about
mate.
you two.
Steal.
I struggled for centre halves this tournament. Did you? Having a look around.
Well, you know the guy that I actually think deserves a bit of credit, and I jotted him down as well, was John Stones.
John Stones, I was going to mention. Yeah.
John Stones has flown by
yeah.
under the
For me,
radar a
yeah,
bit, Neil.
Yeah, I looked at him, but I thought,
Like Mark
Yeah.
Gay, remember he was a lucky boy against Slovakia. Remember he was ragdolled for their goal. We were all sat here watching it. Ragdolled was Gay for that in that game.
I think England have been that poor that he's actually got the most ball recoveries in the tournament.
Does he
Mark
really?
Gahey, yeah, in terms of winning the ball back for his team as well. Declan Rice is up there, but I think whenever he's been asked to win races, when the ball's been turned
He's
over
done
by
that,
England
yeah.
over and over and over again, he's done that. And for his debut tournament as well,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we've argued for the goalkeeper. We should just be putting the Spain 11 in here, you know, but we've argued for it because of the circumstances of different things.
So you went Gay and Saliba. You went Gay
Gay,
and Akanji.
Emmanuel
I
Akanji,
went
yeah.
Saliba and Akanji with John Stones.
yeah, I think Akanji has
we've
had
got
a,
the mix.
you know,
An honourable
Akanji
man.
had a fantastic
I
tournament.
love him.
Yeah.
Left back. Here was an interesting one. I hummed and hoed over this one. Who did you pick, Neil?
I picked
That was your
him-
position, of course.
Yeah, no, I picked Cucurella, and I did because I think he's had a fantastic tournament. He's been the player that I've seen at Brighton. I think people haven't seen it at Chelsea for various reasons. He's playing under a manager who really, really believes in him, and he's just had the bit between his teeth, and he showed energy. He's just showed everything as why. What did Chelsea pay? 75? 75 million? 65 million for him.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he showed every bit of that in his tournament. He really, really has.
I don't think he showed every
Not
bit
for the
of
club, yeah.
65 million
Well,
quid,
what's
Neil.
the going rate these days? I don't know. There's
a
kids
left
going
back.
for 40 million. I don't know what the going rate is anymore. But
That's
I think
true,
it's,
actually, a
do you know what I
lot.
mean? I don't know what it is anymore. But I think he's been the best left back at the tournament for me, 100%. I liked a few others in the mixture there. I did like Koundé.
Theo Hernandez at
Theo
France.
Hernandez was really good. I thought about Koundé at right back, and Theo Hernandez I really like at left back. But
I'm with you on
just,
Cucurella.
I think Cucurella. I think we can all agree on that one. I think Cucurella, left back for me.
He was seen as the weak link, and he's actually, I've written down here, Mr. Dependable. And listen, the handball incident against Germany is not his fault, right? The ball hits his hand. It's not like he forces it. But seen as a weak link, John, he's been far from it. He's been solid.
He's had a fantastic tournament, obviously. Not a massive fan of his, though. I think he hasn't performed well for the club, which I think we can all agree that there's something there. He's a good player, but I think he needs to start putting in the performances for Chelsea as well. But I think he's done that in this tournament. He's put on some really, really good performance, and he's been really, really solid. Given
the fact you've got Alex Grimaldo on the bench, and he's coming off the back of an incredible campaign with Bayer Leverkusen, Luis de la Fuente, the Spanish boss, deserves all the credit in the world. First time we fully agree then, Marc Cucurella in at left back. Now you've got a midfield 2, John. That's your position, so I'm going to bow to you. Who's your 2 in the middle of the park? Who did you choose?
I have gone for, of course, for me the best player must be in the top 3 for Player of the Year for the Ballon d'Or. I've gone for Rodri, and I've gone for Toni Kroos. Those are my 2.
And Toni Kroos. Rodri is, we all agree, best in his position.
In the position.
Toni Kroos.
Toni Kroos retired. We hope he comes out of retirement, because he still has a lot to offer. And I thought he had an amazing tournament for Germany.
Right, Neil.
Yeah, so Rodri's my one holder. Obviously, I'm playing 4-1-4-1, so Rodri's my one holder. I thought about playing 2 and putting Toni Kroos in, but I think he had a bit of a cigar on for most games. Wasn't under much pressure, a little bit like Xhaka. I think they both were given too much time. And when it actually come to the game where he was needed, obviously the Spain game, etc.
Spain game, yeah.
I think people like Rodri turned up at that night.
Right, I've gone 3 in the middle of my midfield.
Yeah, it's the same. 4-1-4-1 is 4-3-3.
And I've named none of those. Ooh. So I've gone for, as much as I love Rodri, I've gone for his mate. Fabian Ruiz is a player that I think's really emerged in this term. When I say emerged, anyone that's followed Italian football will know he was class at Napoli. PSG paid big money. He's a key part of what Luis Enrique wants to do in Paris. But in this tournament, I think he's been fantastic. He's got his 2 goals, and it's his ability alongside Rodri to win the ball back. So I've gone Ruiz. I've gone for a little nod towards you here, John, with this one. N'Golo Kante reminding us all what an incredible player at 33. To your point, it's really stuck with me. I think it was you, or maybe it was you at the start of this tournament, reminding us all, it doesn't matter where you play. Saudi Pro League. Saudi Pro League gets a bad rep. It's not seen as being as good as the Premier League, and of course it isn't. But N'Golo Kante has proven that it doesn't really matter where you play. You remain a great player if you're professional and you do what you need to do. So he's in there. And the one that I thought you would say, John, I've gone Granit Xhaka. Because I thought Granit Xhaka, certainly against Germany, against Italy, even against England. England did a better job stopping him, but I thought he was class.
I thought, I did think about him as well, but I thought
Kroos is. I'm not going to argue with Kroos.
Yeah, I think I've decided to go for these 2 because these 2 I think they can, the ball playing midfield players, they can get the team to tick along and get the team to play well. So for me, I also looked at N'Golo Kante, but I thought, okay, he didn't really have the best of the best
not against
tournament.
Spain.
Not against Spain.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, but no disrespect. N'Golo Kante is a fantastic player at the age of 33. He's still a machine. He's still, he's still going. And everybody thought he wasn't going to be part of this French team, but he came in and he performed really well. So
Right, who's your attacking 3? So you've got Rodri and you've got Kroos. Who's your attacking 3?
So my 3, I've gone for a player you love. So I've gone for Lamine.
Yeah, of course. Lamine Yamal's in all of our teams.
Yeah.
So you've gone him wide right. Who have you gone wide left?
Williams. Williams.
Nico
Williams.
And then number 10.
Number 10, I've gone for your player you absolutely love from Napoli.
Kvaratskhelia. Yes, John.
Yes.
I'm loving that you're playing him.
Yes, those are my 3. Ball playing, wingers, and then I thought about playing on the left, but I thought I need to put Williams there as well, so I brought him in the midfield to be my number 10.
Love it. Right, you've got 4.
Well, yes, it's a 4-3-3. It's very similar to what you do. So Rodri, the 2 in front of him would be Arda Güler and Dani Olmo, are the 2 number 10s for me in front. I think Arda, he's had a really tough year with injury. He's obviously a Real Madrid player, but to turn up, the goal he scored, possibly goal of the tournament for me if we come on to it, I think he performed fantastically for a young lad and was their best player at the tournament, and is going to have a big season, I feel. Off the right, I've got Yamal. Off the left, I've got Musiala.
Musiala, Yamal, Olmo, Guler and Rodri. Cheapers. I've gone with John. I've gone Lamine Yamal wide right and Nico Williams.
Oh, you've got Nico Williams as well?
I've got Nico Williams. I've loved him.
He's
going to get a big move.
I've loved him.
He would be amazing in the Premier League. All the noises out of Spain, though, are that Barcelona are pushing the boat out massively.
Still looks a little bit raw to me. There's still moments of it. I look at him and I go, Musiala looks like he's got a bit more finesse and class, and obviously he's at a big club as well, Musiala, and I still think there's a little bit to come from Nico. I think he's realised in this tournament his ability to run in behind. He's got a manager who's keeping it simple.
Pep would love him. Pep and Nico, because he is raw. A bit like Doku.
A bit like Doku.
Straight line speed would give City something
a bit different. But then also he can go left and right as well. He's got a bit of that as well, so which is really
tonight
good.
That's why England. Nico
England
Williams
needs to be careful about that, because he can go either way.
You're absolutely right. Right, our strikers, we all agree there isn't a standout. So I've shoehorned Jamal Musiala as my false 9. That's how I've got him into my team. Dani Olmo, yes. Kobbie Mainoo, yes. But I feel they've really only come to the fore in the last couple of games, in truth. So that's why I've left them on the bench. Cody Gakpo on the bench as well for me. Who did you go with, John? Who's your quote-unquote target man?
I went for Cody Gakpo.
You did.
Just
3 goals.
I
get it.
I think he had a great tournament. Obviously, I thought they would make the finals, but for me, he had an amazing tournament. So he's my out-and-out striker.
And for you?
Yeah, same. I went for Cody Gakpo as striker. I think he's had a terrific tournament. He was Netherlands far and away their best player. Every group stage game, I watched everything they did that was good, had him involved. Obviously, he was off the left, really. So I could play Musiala or I could play Dani Olmo as striker. So them lot are all interchangeable. But for me, Gakpo had to be in that team.
Right. So for everyone listening, then run me through your team. Then I'll start with you, Neil. So you've gone. I'll say this one. Georgie Mabardashvili is your goalkeeper, and then your back 4.
So my back 4 is Carvajal, Saliba, Guehi, Cucurella. In midfield, Rodri with Dani Olmo and Arda Güler. Off the right, Yamal. Left, Musiala. Up top, Cody Gakpo.
That's a very good team, that you can tell this man has played at a high level. And then John, your team, for everyone listening, you've gone 4-2-3-1. You've got Jan Oblak in goals. Your back 4 was what?
Kimmich right back, Gueye and Emmanuel Akanji and Cucurella.
Yeah, I like it. Midfield 2, I've gone for Rodri and Toni Kroos. Yeah.
And then wide right, I've gone for Lamine.
Yeah.
Wide left, I've gone for Williams, Nico. And right in the middle, as my number 10, I've gone for Kranas.
Varashihila.
I didn't pick him for that reason, by the way. I didn't get him anywhere near my team for that reason.
You looked at him and thought,
I'll say his name.
He's a good player, but he ain't making my team. I like that choice. And then up top, Cody Gakpo.
Cody Gakpo, yeah.